1 Peter 5, 6, and 7 says, "Therefore humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you." I think the older I get, the more complexities of life I'm able to recognize. Simple things that I used to take for granted, like what are we going to have for dinner? Used to be easy when it was just my wife and I. Now that we have kids, not so much. Now we stress out about what combinations we're going to be able to bring together so that everybody will actually eat. We're mindful of their nutritional needs. They are growing children after all. We also don't want them to go hungry. If you do not have kids, this might be where your train of thought would stop. Understandably so. But if you are a parent, you know that if they don't eat enough, they are going to try and snack the rest of the night, which is a battle that sometimes you win, sometimes they win. But if they don't eat dinner and they don't get any snacks, that means they also will not sleep. They may prolong the bedtime routine until finally you cave 2 hours after their bedtime and they get that highly desired and hard-won snack. Or by some chance you do happen to get them to sleep, only to have them wake you up in the middle of the night because they are too hungry to sleep and they need you to get them a snack at 3 a.m. If you and or they do not get the rest that they need, they will not have the fortitude to face the next day. And everything will cause meltdowns, fighting, obstinance, and a whole lot of yelling. And this is just one example of how something so simple as "what's for dinner?" can be way more complex than you ever thought. Now, the reason that I started off the video with that scripture might seem obvious on the front end. Okay, yeah, Chris, great. That's great. You just talked about one simple example of how you've got so much going on and you just got to cast all your cares upon God because he cares for you. We've heard that before. Nothing new. Whoop-de-doo. Well, I don't know if you've taken that or you've heard that scripture before and you've thought, okay, that's nice. Yeah, I'll just give everything over to God and I'll just go through my list of things that I'm concerned about and then just dump them on him. And then I don't have to worry about it because I gave it to God. I don't have to worry about it. But today I was driving home from work and I was thinking about a conversation I had with my eldest last night about how she is still dealing with anxiety about when my son went to the ER for having the seizure. She said, "Daddy, I'm really anxious about it. I can't catch my breath whenever I think about it. I just don't know what to do. I get so scared thinking about it." And as I was driving, I was just trying to go through in my head, what are all the potential reasons that she could be concerned? What is it specifically that she's concerned about? And then this scripture popped into my head, and it made sense to me in a whole new way. I think we do ourselves a disservice. I know I have in the past whenever I've just nonchalantly thrown that scripture out there for somebody who's trying to express something that they're going through, or even whenever something comes up in my head that I feel completely overwhelmed about, I have the potential just to say, okay, you know what? I can't deal with this. God, I'm just giving it to you. But in my role as a father, I recognize my responsibility is to help draw out more from my daughter about what actually is her care, what actually is her concern. And so I began to think about the last time that I actually sat down and wrote out all of the things that I was concerned about that I was going to cast upon God. I'm recording. No. What's wrong? And as I was thinking about all this, I realized that I have never done myself the service of actually writing out in full detail all that I recognize and all that I understand about the problems that I am carrying, the weight that I'm carrying. Something as simple as dinner. That was a long list of items that go through my head on a daily basis. What are some of the things that you have been praying about or that you may have offered to God? You said, "God, I'm casting this upon you because I care about it and I don't want to deal with it." If you were to go to a counselor, what's a counselor going to do? They're going to want to try and unpack whatever problems are weighing you down because they know that the surface level is not going to bring about the resolution, is not going to bring about the clarity, is not going to help relieve this pressure that you feel on a daily basis. The difference is this is the creator of the universe who knows you inside and out, and he cares. He wants you to unpack these things that you've been carrying around. Maybe instead of dismissing what you thought was just simple religious jargon, maybe the significant shift within you, the relief that you have been looking for, could come from something as simple as writing down a problem and fully chasing it all the way to the end of the nasty, ugly, opposite of a rainbow, whatever you want to call it, the crap that it leads you to, the places that you're scared to go, the places that make you shake in fear with terror, the things that overwhelm you to the point where you feel like you can't even get up to face another day. I don't know if that resonates with you. Maybe it was just for me, but I wanted to share with you that little shift in my thinking that I had whenever I was coming home of maybe I need to write down not just my problem, but a specific problem and really drill down into what is it about it that is so overwhelming to me? Why do I feel so helpless? Why do I feel so hopeless? And then take that to God and see what happens. Sometimes he changes the situation, but more often than not, he changes me and he changes the way I view the situation, and he reassures me that he is with me in the midst of it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you appreciated my story. I know it was a little bit different than what you have come to expect, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's exactly what you were thinking of. But either way, I'm glad that you are here. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. If you like the content, give me a thumbs up, put something down in the comment section, share it on social media, and I will see you next time when we can share a cigar and change the world.